You co-host on my screen.
Let me,
We are
okay.
recording.
Hey, I
You
can,
got it now?
I can
Yes.
fix that.
I think it's fixed now, right?
Yes.
Okay, she's recording now.
Hit the gavel.
We're ready to go. So meeting has started. It is just a couple minutes past 6:30. So welcome everybody to our May meeting. I can't believe that we're already in May. Trying to get my screens to go. Do we have any visitors this month in this meeting?
Let me mute myself.
I don't think so, unless they're muted.
No,
Okay, good.
recognize everybody.
All right, we'll move on. All right, everybody knows about this page. It's mainly for our visitors. So I'm going to move on. We'll talk about some of these things a little bit later today. All right, and you guys already know this. I do want to reiterate that on this page, you can't see it on this page right here, but just below this little welcome thing is a link to get the meeting link for our Zoom meetings in case anyone has trouble finding those in the agenda.
Melissa,
Yeah,
I think you need to share your screen.
I did that. Can you
I can
not see it?
No.
I can see it.
Oh,
I
I can see it.
It's there.
I can see it.
Yeah.
no. It must be my computer. I'm sorry, Melissa.
Okay, now I can't get this to go. Oh, there. No, stop. Where is it? Oh, there. I was trying to find a place to turn that off. Now I'm going back to, can you see it yet, Victor?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. Where am I? Right here on this page. If anyone has issues or has trouble finding your email with the link, it's usually on the agenda from Beverly each month for this Zoom meeting while we are still continuing to Zoom. It is on this page just below this mission statement paragraph. There's a green link that you can click on to get the meeting link sent to you. So it's a quick place to find it. It's not showing up on here, but it is just down below the paragraph. Okay. That's our Facebook page, our meetup page. You guys are all familiar with all of this. Our meetings are recorded now, so they are on our YouTube page. We're getting so famous. Our minutes for all of our meetings, including a board of directors meetings, are now posted on our webpage. Hopefully everyone went out to look at the minutes, and it is now time to vote on those. I need a motion to approve the minutes from April. Somebody?
Make a
I make
motion
a
to
motion.
approve the minutes for April.
I'll second
Okay.
it.
Okay, I got Ralph, and who seconded?
Anthony.
Okay. And everybody for, say aye.
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 Anybody against, say nay. They've been approved. Treasurer's report, Sharon.
Sharon's not here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Dennis called me and said they were having trouble logging in. So I sent them a new link, but
Okay, so she's not here yet. I'll
yeah,
go and cover this for her. It's pretty clear. In April 1st, we had $2,647.43. We had membership in Venmo of $30 and cash and checks for $30, interest of 18 cents for a total income of $60.18. We did choose to pay PSA for the next 5 years because they were giving us a deal, or $180. So our total ending balance in April was $2,527.61. Okay, moving on. For club business. And Dennis isn't here, obviously.
Hey, Melissa,
Yes,
I just saw somebody,
I was looking to see if he's in yet. Yeah, Dennis
well,
here.
yeah, Dennis just signed in, so he's probably got Sharon with him.
Okay. So we'll give him a second. He's probably just hitting all the right buttons. Because I'd like for him to talk about the PSA competition, the inter-club competition.
And we also have,
Okay, yeah, can you hear me now?
I can. Hi, Dennis.
Okay,
We're assuming that Sharon's with you, and I just reviewed the financial information. Couldn't be here, but I'm glad you are here now so that you can talk about the PSA inter-club competition. And I've got a slide on that following this, so I don't know if you want to hit the high points before I switch over.
well, yeah, the only thing I'd say right now is that we've completed everything we need to do for the interclub competition for this year. We submitted our last photos on the 5th, before the 15th of April. That was the deadline. They're doing their magic on them right now, and so we should get results for the April competition and for the entire year, hopefully by the end of this month. And where we stand right now is we are tied for second place in our group for the year. So we'll see what happens.
Oh, wait a second. We've got more information than that, Dennis.
Oh, I didn't. Oh, you do? Good.
Yes.
Hey.
Victor sent me some information that he said that you and he both received.
I haven't received it.
Huh.
Go ahead. What is it?
Well, we are now first place. They have given us the results,
Good.
and we are now first place. So we beat out everybody else with this last round
in our division.
in
Yeah.
our division.
Yeah.
And so I've got the scores for the people that were in this last round for April on the next page.
Okay. Good.
All right, so here we go. These were the photos that were submitted for the round 3 for 2021. And we had 3 15 scores with award of merit, and 1 14 score with an honorable mention, and a 9 and an 11. So congratulations, everybody, on this round. And it pushed us into first place.
That's great.
Awesome, awesome, awesome.
Why can't they see us?
Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see it.
And so the other
Oh,
thing,
now we go. Yeah.
there, I see you guys now.
Good.
So the other thing that was in that communication is there'll be all of these award of merits, I guess, will be included in a competition at the end of the year for, what was it called?
Well, there's the best in show.
Yeah,
there's
the best
several
in,
different-
yeah, best in show, gold, silver, bronze, and honorable mention. And I just actually got this over the weekend.
yeah.
If you can go
Hey,
ahead and send it to
Hey,
me.
Dennis,
Yeah,
I'll send you the email I got.
okay.
I thought for sure that you being the rep, it was sent to you.
Well, I've been usually getting it, or maybe I missed something. I don't know. Just
Okay.
send it to me.
All right.
Maybe it's in your spam box or something.
Well, that's another possibility.
Okay.
Okay,
But listen, everybody, I just want to add a couple of comments to everything that Melissa has said. This is the folks that submitted the work, submitted outstanding work. I think we owe the selection committee a round of applause because they did a really good job of picking some really good photos to send up to represent the club. So we, the club represented itself really amazing, and we just need to wait and see how we fare in the end of year, okay? Because the number of photos going up for the end of year results is only the photos that received an award of merit, okay, from each round. So if there was like, and this is just an example because I don't have the second round or the first round. Dennis has those, but if there were a total, let's just say there was a total of 10 award of merits in each round, then that means only 30 people are competing for best in show, gold, silver, and bronze, and honorable mention. So that's 5 awards out of 30 photos. And I think we stand an excellent chance at maybe getting one of those as well. But if you want to go to the PSA website and look at the previous photos from the previous rounds, you can do that. And you can see what you're up against for all the photos that received an award of merit. And I know, Dennis, you were the chair of the selection committee the last round, right?
Yeah.
You didn't, who else was on the committee?
Well, it was, I believe it was, it was Holly and Sandy and Eric Bowden. Off the top of my head, and
I think Scott was on as well, wasn't he?
Scott on. Yeah. Who else was on, Holly? I can't remember now.
That's all I remember as well.
Greg maybe was. I don't know.
Last one was Jeff. Scott wasn't on the last one.
Oh, no, it was the one before. My bad.
Okay.
Scott-
Yeah.
Jeff was on there as well.
Okay, well, listen, guys, y'all did an excellent job in selecting the ones to go up, okay? And now we just sit back and wait. The club is either going to be mailed a plaque for first place, or Dennis, do they hand those out at the conference? Do they wait till the conference to hand those out?
They used to do that, but I don't know. Last year, obviously, they didn't have a conference, and so I don't know what they're going to do this year.
All right. So they'll either mail the plaque to the club, okay, and I assume it'll come to Dennis because Dennis is the club's rep and that's the address they have, or they'll present it to if someone
If
from
you're
the
there,
club.
they'll present it to you. So
Well, are you and Sharon going this year?
no, we've got a conflict. We can't go.
Oh, well, listen, while I have everybody's attention, is anybody else going? You going, Ralph? Did I see you raise your hand? No, maybe not. Okay,
if nobody goes, but
well,
these folks who got the honorable mention and award of merit also get a ribbon.
yep.
Yeah. They'll send them out.
Yeah, those come in the mail and Dennis will pass them on to you. Okay, Melissa.
All right, so congratulations again, everybody. Great job. So I guess this was the information that we just talked about for the end of the year. All right, is there anything going on? Is Daryl here? I mean, outside of these two things, these things are still on their webpage for the Art League.
Nothing new.
Nothing new? Okay. So the Art in Bloom, the entries end the 24th of this month, and then there's a jury day for anyone who would like to try to jury into the Art League on June 5th.
If anybody needs some advice on preparing your work for jury day, just let me know. I might have some insight into that.
I like that you're sitting in front of the Faust there, Daryl.
It's my remote location.
Yeah. Okay. A. Smith has a call for entry coming up on May 24th. Those entries are due by May 24th. And then Naturescapes, we've had some folks, I guess, that have participated in this in the past. This is entries are from April 5th through June 28th, and they need to be photos taken in Hayes, Blanco, Comal, Guadalupe, Caldwell, and Travis counties within the last 2 years. Several of us have tried to participate in that the last 2 years. Holly, you have actually been accepted into it in the past 2 years, right?
Not last year. I got all of mine rejected last year, but I think Barbara got accepted and maybe David. There was one other, I'm so sorry, I can't remember who the other person was at the top of my memory here, but yes, the 2 years ago, then
I got
accepted as did Sandy.
I got accepted in the Ruston Ruination one.
Okay. Yeah, I've participated, but I've never been accepted. And this year I don't have time, so not going to happen. All right, moving on. So the Greater New Braunfels Art Council, the board had a meeting the beginning, gosh, was it? It was in April. So I guess it was almost a month ago. And we decided in that meeting that we are not going to have a booth this year. The Arts Festival for the Greater New Braunfels Art Council is going to be October 22nd through 24th, but it is not going to be in Green where it used to be. It's going to be at the headwaters of the Comal. I think that's what it's called, which is over off of River Road, like going to the hospital downtown. And so we've decided not to host a booth because it takes a lot of work for a lot of people to keep that booth going for the whole weekend. But instead, we're going to provide photographic support. So I think there's going to be a fee to get in this year because it's kind of in a fenced area. I don't know what that fee is going to be yet, but we will know well before then. And anyone who volunteers will get a wrist bracelet so that they don't have to pay to get in. And then Victor is going to be putting together some kind of a photo scavenger hunt type, I don't know, some kind of competition, mainly for youth, I think, for that day. So he's working on that and maybe could use some help. But there's a lot of stuff going on for the whole weekend. We will need some help with photographic support. We'll have a sign-up sheet later on, but it won't be anything like what we have had to do in the past where we have to be there full time, I don't think. Let's see. I think that's all there is to talk about for that for right now. All right, so the April black and white and color glass photos were judged and they by PSA, and the critiques are out on our Facebook page for anyone who wants to see that. May and June, we will submit the assignment photos to PSA for judging, but that's going to happen next month. All right, Holly, you're up.
I just wanted to go over a couple of reminders. when you're submitting your photos, if you could please follow the naming convention that's sent out in the reminder email. It saves me a ton of work having to rename files, take out extra spaces, change words around so that they all look alike, because then I can sort them quickly and alphabetize them quickly, and it makes posting much simpler for me. So for just some reminders, you can submit up to 3 photos, and only the assignment photo needs to be taken after October 2020. So the black and white and color can be from your archives, and they don't have to be related to the theme. You can have them related to the theme if you like, that's fine, but they don't have to be. And then the titling the photos is where I have the most work in getting things ready to post. And if you could actually put the word assignment, not the name of the theme like flowers, not the word challenge, but the word assignment, and then a hyphen, the title of your image, hyphen, and your name with a JPEG extension. And then the same way with black and white and color. No spaces would be great. I can take out the spaces. It just adds an extra step for me. And I think it used to be that we had spaces in there, but it's just simpler, excuse me, for me to have everything really tidy. So I just wanted to ask everybody to double check your naming convention before you hit submit. It would probably save me an extra half hour during the process, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it adds up over time. And then sometimes images come in too small. So also make sure that you're sending at least 1440 pixels on the long side so they display well on the website and on Facebook. That's all. If anyone has any questions, just send me a PM or an email or something.
So Holly, just to be clear then, if the title of a photograph has 4 words in it, there's no spaces. It looks like one great big long word, right?
No, the title can have spaces in it, just no space between the hyphens. So
Okay. And so the first and last name as well can have a space between it?
Yes, it's just the hyphens that I would like no spaces in. That would be great. And
okay, got it.
You don't need underscores in anything. You know, like in between first name, last name, it can just be a space. So if you had a long title, that is fine. Like the sunflower blooms at dawn, it can all have spaces in between all the words.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
That just makes it is a super small thing to do that makes my life so much easier. Thank you guys.
And we appreciate the work that you do to organize all this.
Yes, we do.
No problem.
Okay. All right, open discussion. Let's see, did I miss anything? I don't think I missed anything that's on the agenda. Does anybody have anything they want to add or talk about?
I do, Melissa. I wanted to bring something up, if you don't mind, that y'all were doing when I first joined the club. When you would go through the different pictures, you had some of the metadata. You'd have shutter speed and ISO and that type of thing. That's kind of a learning tool for me. I can appreciate the fact that it cut down the size available for the picture, but if you could show that and then get rid of it, it would help me.
That is information. If I have it available, I can add it to the slide and I can try to put it so it's not too obtrusive over the image. I'm not sure if we can make it disappear, but we'll try to figure something out. I agree. I think metadata is really helpful.
Thank you.
That's a good suggestion, Patricia.
Yeah, it helps me too. I do like the Facebook website, the Facebook pages, the photography Facebook pages that I follow. When they post a picture and they have that information on there, it is helpful. So good idea. Thank you. Anybody else? Is there anything else that anyone wants to talk about?
Melissa, I got a couple of things I'd like to update on, but I don't want to hold anybody else back.
Okay.
Okay, since nobody's jumping up at the bit, I'll go ahead and start. As chairman of the video committee for when we are able to meet back in person, This is the progress that we've made so far. Holly has checked with the library to see what the possibility of in-person testing would be. And currently, the only thing they'll let us do is come into the lobby. Okay. And right now, that might be useful, but I think it'd be better to wait until they'll actually let us into the library. That way we could work with the AV equipment that's there. We could plug into the AV outlet, start up the projector, and make sure that the what we think is going to work will actually work. So we're on hold till we can do that live test. Okay. So David, Daryl, Ralph, and Bill are also on the video committee. Once we get the green light from the library that we can come in and do a test, I'll reach out to all of you and see how many of you can meet us there to do that test, because I think we may need, well, we're going to need at least 2 laptops to make this work, and maybe a third. Okay. And when I get the committee together as a group, I won't waste everybody's time tonight. I'll explain why Holly and I think we might need to do it that way. Okay. So that's it. Go ahead.
Hey, Victor, were we still looking at doing it live on YouTube?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Because on YouTube, we're going to do it. We might do it live on Facebook. Okay. But I think the plan is to do it live on Zoom.
Okay. Okay.
But take the recording that we make and post to YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah. Because
Okay.
I checked YouTube and you can't do a live YouTube unless you have 1,000 subscribers.
Right. And we don't have that.
Yeah, we don't have that. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Holly, that's correct. We don't have 1,000 subscribers, right?
Not quite.
Okay. But
Okay,
close.
so we're looking at doing it live on Zoom then.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll try to do some more research on that then. Okay.
Okay. And then we had discussed at a prior meeting about doing outreach for to let more of the community know that we're here, okay, and that we're resources that can be used for different things, okay. And the 2 things that we talked about was the farmers market and Wassel Fest, okay. The update I have for you as far as the farmers market goes is, because we're a nonprofit, we just need to request a opportunity to put up a 10 by 10 tent and do just like, everybody else there. We can do the outreach. We can pass out pamphlets. We can tell people about the things that we do. And it's free. The only thing is you submit your application and then they call you and say, well, here's the date that you can do it, because it's dependent on how many spots are left open, but they have X number of spots that they just give away to nonprofits, and they cycle them through. Like if they got 4 spots and they got 10 people, they'll put you in line. So what that means is we might get notified that we need a certain date. So we would need probably 2 or 3 people to man that. And it's from what, 9 to 11? It shuts down around noon time, right?
9 to 1.
9 to 1. Okay. So got to get there before 9 o'clock, set up the tent and hang out for a while, meet a lot of nice people and chat up the club. So that's something to think about. And at some point we need to make a decision if we're going to participate in that. And Holly, did you find anything out about Wassel Fest?
I did, but I don't have it right here. So let me look at that and I'll get right back to you. Hang on a sec.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. I'll go on. The next item I have is photo Simpembre. Okay. We have an option A and an option B. Now then, the only thing that I think is for sure is option B, and option B is September 15th to October 3rd. Okay. Option A is August 30th to October 3rd, but there's an if on that, and we're waiting to have a meeting with the people that control the if to find what their thoughts are on it. If it's positive, then we could display for the entire month. If it's negative, then we'll display for 2 weeks. Okay. But I need everyone in the club that wants to participate, okay, to make the decision that you're going to participate by the June meeting. Okay. And then and if anybody has any questions about, I know we got new members that may not know what Photo Simpembre is. If you want to contact me offline, but there's other people in the club that participated. Ralph participated, Daryl participated, Dennis and Sharon participated, Melissa participated, Beverly participated. So you reach out to any of those folks. Homer and Sandy participated. So you reach out to a multitude of people and just get an idea of what's going on. And you can go back on the Facebook page and look at pictures from Photo Simpembre. And we did that we did it in 2018, 2019, except we got shut down in 2019.
2020, we got shut down, right?
Okay, so we did it 2019 and 2020. 2020, we were only displaying for a week and we got shut down in the middle of the week because of COVID. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That was the spring show that we got shut down.
Yeah, that was the spring show.
Yeah, and but we did a digital presentation in 2020. Okay. All right, so that's all I have without Holly found her information.
Hey, Victor, do you want us to just send you an email if we want to participate in that Photo Simpembre or?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Because my deadline to have a formal application to the Photo Simpembre committee is 1 July.
Okay.
Which means I have to fill out the paperwork, put everything together, list who all the artists are going to be, and then submit a sample photo for each artist. Okay. That doesn't mean you have to decide if you're going to put up 3 pieces in the show. You don't have to decide what 3 pieces are going to be right now, but you do have to pick one. Okay. That will go in, because what they do is they cull through each photo that we submit for each artist and pick one of those photos to be the lead photo for the advertisement for our showing. Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
So
Melissa?
Victor,
Holly.
yeah, Wasselfest, anybody can participate. It's $25 to get a booth. If you want to serve food, then you have to get an additional food permit. I don't know if the wassail itself is considered a food or not, but she said when it gets closer to the time of Wasselfest, the city website will have more information. So I will keep investigating.
Do you have a date? Do we know the date?
I think it's the first Thursday in December.
Okay, thank you. Anything?
Prior to that, we should have a wassail recipe contest and pick a recipe that we can work with. Thanks, Holly.
You're welcome.
That's a good idea. Be a good reason to get together, right? Recipe contest party.
Everybody
good
thinks
to
the
me.
best way is Robert.
Some spiked wassail.
Oh,
Oh, you could have the kid version too. Just leave out the spike.
no, it's leaded or unleaded.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, anything else for open discussion? All right. Moving on. We're going to review our flower photos for this month. Everybody has a couple minutes to tell how they got to this point. Let's see, this is Tony. Tony Smith, Anthony, right? No?
Yes, yes. And I'm
Yeah.
on my phone.
Okay,
Can
Tony.
you hear me okay?
Yeah.
All right. I don't see it, but I know what my picture is. So it's just a flower that was in our back, just right off our back patio, kind of growing through the ground right by the cement. And I got as close as I could to it with my iPhone, and and then also zoomed in a little bit on the shot after I had taken it and turned it into a black and white.
Very nice. Okay. Greg, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here. Like Tony, I want the black and white version for the flower photos. I wanted to do something different, not bright and cheerful. I went dark and kind of gritty. I this is shot in an old barn, and I raised the ISO up to 2000 just to add grain to the photo, which I had to raise my shutter speed up to 800. And I just wanted, and then all the titles of all my photos this week are all song titles. So that's the history behind all that. That's all I got.
Well, I was very taken with this one. I think it's quite unique, and I like the choice of flowers. It's a very delicate flower with all what I would consider very rustic surroundings. So,
right.
Thanks. I started off with fake flowers, and they had so much dust on them, it looked too crappy. So I had to go to HEB last minute and spend $3 on flowers, and
yeah, that's what I did too. HEB flowers.
lots of good texture in that one.
Thank you.
Okay, Ed. Is Ed here? Ed, you're here.
Yes, I'm here. That was, can you hear me? That was in the backyard. It had just rained a little bit, so the bees were like flying around, and it was like just a perfect capture for me, I think.
I like the blurred background. Makes the little bee stand out really well.
And you can see his eye. Lots of color.
Yep.
Okay. Dennis.
Yeah, we were in Dallas just before we had to turn the pictures in. So we went to the botanical gardens and wandering around, and I took a landscape because we had our tripod stolen the night before.
Oh.
So I was sort of limited, but I saw they had these statues all over the gardens. And so I kind of liked that guy, and I took the picture.
Very nice.
I'm sorry you had your tripod stolen. That's all.
Me too.
Yeah.
Did they break into your car or something?
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Both parents and well, it's our own fault. We had all this luggage, and we decided, well, we just leave the tripods in the car and take everything else up. But so they broke in and took them.
Anything they can see, right?
They couldn't see
Yeah,
it.
they
see
couldn't
it?
see it. No, I don't, I don't know what happened exactly.
Mm. That's unfortunate. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah.
Ralph.
Yes, this is on our back porch. The cross vines, as every year in the springtime, they just come out in a magnificent profusion, and they're just fabulous. They're great. They're great to photograph. So I was using my 90 mil macro and zoomed in a bit, pumped up the colors a little bit, added just a touch of vignette. Not that you noticed.
Very bright and perky.
Yeah, I like bright and perky.
Hey, you got the texture. They have a funny texture. They're not smooth like most flowers, and you can see the texture very clearly in your picture.
Yeah, the top of our pergola looks like a river with these things up there, and these are a few of them flowing.
They are beautiful. I have some on one of my fences, and they just really are spectacular in the spring.
Okay. Eric?
Well, I think HEB is going to owe the camera club a stipend for
Yeah.
as many flowers as we all bought. So these were some flowers, and I decided to play around with a different way of showing them. I was also playing around with getting the white foam core board and spray painting it for some different backgrounds. So that's actually a spray painted, periwinkle backdrop. So now I've got about 6 different colors of backdrops that I spray painted real lightly to have some consistent colors, but just decided to have a little bit of fun.
It's cool. The yellow is the blue and yellow complement each other so nicely.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. And the ice cream cones are whimsical. I love it.
Very nice.
So you shot this from overhead?
Yes.
How did you do that?
Yeah, it's a lay flat. So I actually have a C-stand, which on one of the arms, I bought a can't even think of the name of it, but anyway, I bought a thing I can click into my camera into like a tripod head, but it fits on the end of a C-stand. And so I'm able to have the camera up above, and I tether to my computer, and I'm able to take the shot that way.
Thank you. Nice, very nice.
Next time I do it, I'll post a picture of the setup on the Facebook page so you can see the C-stand and all of it.
That'd be cool.
Together.
Good idea. Yeah, it's difficult to get things flat and then to get straight above it without being at an angle. It's difficult, right, at least.
Absolutely.
David.
Yeah, I was middle of April, I went down to Fort Myers, Florida, and visited a friend and spent an afternoon wandering through the botanical gardens there. And this was an orchid. I have no idea what kind because they don't label anything, but it just struck me the color and the design in the petals. So it's captured it, tried to get a fairly blurry background on it so it really stood out, but you get an idea of the environment that the orchid was in.
Not ever seen an orchid like that. It's very unique.
I was going to say, does anybody recognize it? Not that I know names.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I've got some strange little orchids, but they don't look like that. It's interesting though. The pattern on the inside of it.
There was.
Yes.
Looks like it's been painted on or something. It doesn't look.
And there were different patterns on different orchids on the same plant. Or
Wow.
I couldn't tell, they might have just all the plants have been meshed together,
It's,
but several of them had very unique patterns on their leaves.
it's called a crimson Catalia from the Catea orchid family, sometimes known as a ruby-lipped Catalia.
Nice work, Darryl.
Hey, that's what these apps
Exactly.
are for.
Victor.
Well, this was a first for me. It's the first time I've ever submitted a photo to an assignment category. But it's just one of my photos that I like doing using ICM. And this was just a handheld zoom. And what I liked about it was that because it was handheld, I couldn't keep it centered straight on. So the rotation of the lens caused it to move right a little bit. But there is, once it zooms in to its final point, it picks one item out to kind of be in focus. And that just happened to be that one red flower.
Nice job.
In the right place.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Victor, when you're
Yes.
zooming, do you start with the wide and then go to the telephoto, or start the telephoto and come back?
No, I did wide and then turn the lens to zoom in. Okay. So what I do is set the ISO to the lowest level, set the f-stop up high enough so that I can get down to about 1/20th or 1/25th of a second. And then I just press the shutter and then zoom the zoom ring as I'm pressing the shutter. So
I've done it, but I have forgotten kind of exactly how to do it.
It takes a bit of practice and luck.
yeah, there's 6 different techniques, okay, that will give you different looks. I'm sure, well, some of you have seen some of my previous posts to where if you do it on a tripod, you can get that in focus point right in the center of the photo, and everything else is either depending whether you zoom in or zoom out. If you zoom in, you get that focus in the center. If you bring it back in reverse, it looks like you're sitting in the captain's chair of the Starship Enterprise right before they go warp.
I remember your class you held at the Botanical Garden. That was a really good class.
I think it looks better off the center, don't you?
Do what?
I think it looks better off center the way you've got it.
It depends on the it depends on the subject matter. Okay, you know gosh, I forget the real term for all of them, but they're at the Botanical when you come out the back of the restaurant. That stone walls got all those. I think you call them succulents. I might have the wrong name for it, but they're all small plants and stuff like that. I did a tripod set up there, and there's this really nice plant that's surrounded by all these other different colors and different types of plants, and they're all look like they're starting to evaporate. But that one plant, I don't know the name of it, but it's like a little a baby century plant or something like that, but it's in focus. I like it a lot. But there's different things, and it depends on what you're looking for. But this one, I'll be honest, it took me like 7 tries before I finally got this one. Like I said, it was handheld, so the focus point on the previous 6 just happened to line up somewhere that really wasn't on anything. So
Good title.
thank you.
Mhm. I think I have trouble with titling more than anything. Okay, next, Sandy.
Jay, I'm sure you've all been to Walsey Farms to their poppy fields, and I was there a couple of weeks ago on a very misty, rainy day. And I was telling Holly that they always remind me of France for some reason. So I tried to get sort of, because it was misty, tried to get that kind of dreamy feeling maybe of a day in Provence. That was what I was going for.
This composition is just lovely, and the colors and the softness of the mist, yet everything's in focus in the foreground. It's just a beautiful, beautiful image.
It is.
I'm a sucker for any mist or fog. I'd always like to try to get that.
I love that moisture that you have on those. We're able to be there during the time that those plants are moist like that, wet.
Yes.
It was really kind of,
Really
it was
add.
kind of raining when I was taking a little bit, just the fine mist.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Patricia.
Yes. That's my little begonia. I stayed close to home for this one. That was on the patio. And it was kind of an overcast day and in the shade of the patio. I had a high ISO. It was like 1600 and an f-stop of 8. But I had fun with it. That was my 80 millimeter macro.
Yeah, it worked out very well for you.
Thank you.
Tiny little blooms too, because of begonia, so that's cool.
Yeah, the background is really nicely out of focus, so it really stands out.
Thank you.
Okay. This one's mine. Actually, I went to HEB for groceries on, I don't know, Thursday or something, and picked up a couple of things of flowers because I knew it was supposed to rain all weekend, and it did. So basically, I took this flower outside and held it under the rain as it was pouring, and then brought it back inside and started playing around with just different positions, both the front and the back. And this is the back of the Gerbera daisy with rain drops all over it. And I was using I believe I was using my macro. I used a couple of different lenses because I was playing. I was just trying to see what I could get. But I think I ended up landing on using the 100 millimeter Canon macro lens.
Yes, that's what it says in the metadata. You are correct.
Mhm.
Very vibrant colors, and I love the drops, the water droplets.
I love the composition with all the diagonals.
That's what I liked about it. I like that coming up out of that corner.
Thank you.
Nice.
Do you ever take 2 shots at different focus points and then put them together?
I don't do so well at stacking, but I've tried it. It just haven't been that great of a success with it. But I do have this from different angles, and this happened to be the one that I liked the most. Holly.
This is in my backyard. The photos are taking just a little lagging to load, so I don't know if anyone can see my picture yet, but
Oh yeah.
it is just the rose bush in our backyard, and it was when we had Wormapocalypse or Wormageddon a few weeks ago, and We had caterpillars and worms everywhere, hanging out of the trees and all different kinds, webworms and cankerworms. And this is a forest tent caterpillar moth, and he was just chilling on the rose before consuming it. So I got a photo of him, and he's pretty well in focus. Just a little tail end of him is a little out of focus. I did take 2 shots and try to composite them together, but I missed getting all of the rose in focus. And I really think that detracts from the overall image. But I like the composition and how he's kind of curving up and looking up at the leaf of the rose bush, of the green leaf up next to it. But I really had a hard time deciding on where to crop through the rose or to leave the rose whole. And I decided I like the rose whole better, but you don't get to see as much detail on the caterpillar.
Well, the caterpillar steals the show since it's so
Yes,
sharp.
it does.
Yeah.
Catch yourself looking at the caterpillar, not the rose.
And his color is complemented with the red and the greeny blue color of him. It's really pretty.
It's a nice shot.
Several different types of crops on it and change the look.
I really liked it because it gave a sense of motion. It looked to me like the caterpillar was ready to go on from the red petal to the green leaf.
I just wanted to know, did you get him off the rose afterwards so that he didn't chew it up?
No, we let them eat away. They ate quite a bit of our bushes and flowers, but there were just so many. I don't know if anybody else had this invasion of worms like we did.
We didn't have them right here.
Oh,
Well, they were horrible. We couldn't hardly walk out the door for them. There were, and so many different kinds. I've never seen anything like it. I thought with the freeze that we had that we wouldn't have had as many bugs, and it seems they're worse this year.
You know what? I have a theory.
We had quite a few.
I
But we use a flamethrower, not get rid of them.
I
swept them off the porch.
I've seen so many more insects this spring than I have in the previous 6 years I've lived here. And I think it's because the world shut down last year and we just weren't out and about. We weren't out polluting things and we weren't out, creating gases. And so the insect world could just kind of regenerate.
I think you're probably right.
It's crazy.
That's possible, but I don't like them. So not in the quantities that they are in. Oh my gosh. And now we have mosquitoes and we never have mosquitoes.
Yeah, our
So
dogs
you might be
outside. Every time the dogs went out and they came back in, we had to check them for those little green worms. They were everywhere.
Yeah.
It seems we were lucky where we are. D.R. Horton doesn't allow these things in. Just didn't see any worms to speak of.
We didn't have them either, but we have neighbors, a mile that way that had them coming out their ears. It was really.
Well, you're out further than I am. I don't know how you didn't have them. They're everywhere. They're finally slowing down, but I still see a few.
It's all about which poison you choose.
Well, I mean, yeah, ABC comes around, but they mostly died because they crawled through it, but not before they reached my back door. That was a long walk, I guess.
No, we don't use any poison in the yard, so I don't know why they weren't here. And we're other places. I have no
It's
idea.
it's only around the house to keep scorpions out. So maybe it doesn't affect worms so much. Suzanne.
Okay, so I too went to HEB and got, you can hear me, right?
Yes.
Okay. And got sunflowers. And so I was trying to do something interesting with them. And I was able to snap off a couple of these pictures just before the sun went behind the clouds. I had it set at, my f-stop was at 22 to try and get that nice starburst in the leaves there. If you look just to the right, you see a little red smudge, and so that was some lens reflection that I had to trim out of the picture, but this one was, I came out the best. So I asked a friend of mine what he thought, and he thought I should have used rule of thirds, but with the sun setting quickly and then the lens, those little lens reflection dots, you know, anyway, it was the best I could do. Thank you.
It's a nice picture.
That's cool.
This sunflower is awesome.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Barbara.
So we were on one of our hikes, and I fully intended to get a picture of a flower. There were no flowers. I just decided to be a rebel. And I mean, I like the focus. I like the color of the cactuses. I know the blooms are already gone, but I just like the picture. So that's what you got.
Very nice.
Homer.
This was in my unkempt backyard. And when I saw this little weed coming up, I was immediately thought of an old novel that I read many years ago titled A Tree Grows in Brooklyn, about a young woman who survives a unfriendly environment and thrives. And I looked at this little weed and I thought, well, in spite of the trees and the landscape cloth and the gravel, this little flower managed to survive and germinate. So I took a picture.
I like the texture all around it of all the little gravel.
The composition works really well too. I like where you place the flower in the frame.
I like the textural aspect of it.
Okay. Karen.
Again, without a tripod, and it was kind of windy at the Botanical Gardens up there in Dallas. So this was taken with my cell phone because the cell phone will freeze it. I did take some pictures with my camera, but with the wind, it was really not working for me. So this is a cell phone picture.
Got a lot of nice detail. He's managing to hang on, wind and all.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of insects in Dallas as well, I guess.
I didn't see caterpillars, but I did see some of these guys. Yeah. And ladybugs. I saw ladybugs too here in the garden. It's a beautiful garden. It really is beautiful.
Okay. Daryl.
Yeah, this, it was not the entry that I meant to put in. This was the one I rejected. But here it is. I gotta, you'll see the much better and well improved version in the Bloom show at the gallery next month or later this month. Anyway.
How's it different?
Well, I did not in this have enough evidence of one of the vanities that we explore, you know, the learning from books. There should be a book in there.
Yeah.
So that you know, and I don't have the skull in there. I looked around for the skull that I had and I couldn't find it. So that's not even going to show up in the other one. But it's the vase is all wrong. That'll be improved on the other one. But that's our vanities there, our sense of mortality and the feudal aspects we have in life. I guess the COVID probably brings this to mind for me more than anything else. We're very temporary, you know. And
Daryl?
Yeah.
I believe the skull is buried in your backyard.
Is that where you've been digging around? Oh, Ralph. Okay. Okay. Okay.
This is kind of an 18th century look to it, to me.
It's
time.
The Dutch loved it in the 17th century. They loved to do this sort of thing.
Mhm.
Are those real or fake flowers?
Pardon?
Are the flowers real or fake? The flowers. Are they real?
Oh yeah, yeah. Some of them are fresh, but most of them are dying. And that's another thing that's going to show up in the better pictures. Some of the petals falling down. Anyway, that's what you got to vote on.
Okay. Albert.
So unlike everybody, or most everyone, I didn't go to HEB. But I did find some fake flowers or artificial flowers to take a few shots off my patio and got a little bit of sun behind them. So that was my attempt in getting a grouping of flowers that I probably would not have found out in the wild.
Yeah, it's a little early for sunflowers like that. So I wondered where you, I thought they must be from the store. That's interesting.
Well, technically they were from the store.
Well, true. Nice color combination. Really nice color combination.
Yeah, I had to get creative with clamping those down at the base and rearranging them. So it worked out, I think.
I love how vibrant everything is. And then you have the green trees and the blue sky to finish it off. The colors are really stunning.
Thank you.
Okay. Liliana.
She's not a member.
Is she here?
She's never paid that last $5.
Really?
She's not here anyways, right?
I do not
She is
see
not
her on the
here.
participant list.
She's not here. Okay. And the winner, the first time ever.
It's Melissa.
Congratulations, Melissa.
Yay!
Congratulations.
Well done.
Thank you.
I had my vote.
Mine
too.
Well, it's good to know. It's my ego back up. I was really getting kind of like, now what do I do, right? For the every next assignment, it sort of maybe will inspire me from here on out for a little bit. But thank you guys. All right, black and whites. Sharon.
Oh, wow. That's at Death Valley, Blackwater Basin, and Badwater Basin, I'm sorry. This is a lake bed. You're 280 some feet below sea level, and the lake bed dries up. Most of the time it's dry, and these salt crystals form in patterns all around you. I mean, it's acres and acres and acres. And I was trying to get some of the patterns to kind of lead your eye to the sunrise that was happening. It's a very interesting place. I really, Death Valley is incredible, but it's getting too late to go now. You want to go early.
it's a fascinating scene. The texture really captures your eye. You might have cropped the sky just a wee bit more because it was just the backdrop for the.
Now, see,
I'll try that, Ralph.
I
Thank
love
you.
the sky because I think it complements the basin so well with the swirls of the clouds and the textures and the swirls of the basin. Isn't it interesting how something appeals differently to different people?
Yeah.
Obviously, I like the sky, but
Yeah.
I
like the
your
sky
eye
too.
your eye goes to the brightest part, so the sky does kind of take over a bit, and the foreground maybe could have been a little lighter.
I don't know. I like that there seems to be a path right almost down the center where the mountains kind of go down back in the, or whatever those are, back in the back right before the
That's what
sky
I was
starts.
kind of trying to get this.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, if your eye goes to the brightness of the sky, I'm not sure how you could adjust that by cropping, but I kind of like the way that you have it composed. Okay.
This is a picture of my cousin. She came to town a couple weeks ago, and by now my family members know if you come to visit, we're going to do a photo shoot, and that is in a barn, same as the flower earlier. And the first time she's combed her hair in a year, so she had to go out and invest in a $5 comb, which I thought worked pretty well. This is natural light. You always try to put women in an S curve, guys in a V. So, and she has kind of small eyes, so I had her lean forward that opened up the eyes a little bit. And she was overthinking this, so I had her run her hand through her hair real slow, just get her mind off the shoot. And this is what we got.
Very nice. Thanks.
Beautiful.
For telling us the techniques. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, the lower hand is very, very well done. Sometimes it's hard to make them look natural.
Yeah, I placed her hand there, and she's turned out really well. I liked it. I don't know.
Close that barn door behind her.
Well, that's actually the window that my flower was shot in, and it wasn't, so it all comes full circle.
Well, she looks very personable in this photo.
Yeah, she thinks it looks too sexy, so she's an executive. So she's like, I can't even put this anywhere, but hey, at least she's got it if she ever wants.
Yeah, I think
it's not too.
I think
not
it's very
sexy at
wholesome,
all.
don't you think?
Yes. I don't think it looks too sexy at all. I think it looks. She's just very personable and she's very photogenic. And she's overthinking that thing. So
yeah, that's what I think too. I'll pass it on.
Yeah. Eric.
Hey, look, it's a coffee cup. It must be Eric.
It's your signature now.
That's it.
Yeah.
You sort of tricked us this month on the challenge. There were
Yeah, I know the assignment.
Cups.
Yeah, that was on purpose. So thank you, Melissa, for So yes. So the more HEB flowers, in there, and then of course the coffee cup with the coffee in it that I don't drink. Another one of my spray painted things, and I like the fact that I got some texture out of the spray paint up at the top. And it just it where it's smooth, it's actually smooth. I didn't do any smoothing in it. It's just that's the texture that shows up from after using the spray paint. So it was smooth in places and rough in others, so I just left it the way it was. Same rig, with the camera up above, and a light. Obviously I've got a light perpendicular shooting cross light in it, so that's Mr. Coffee.
Very nice.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing what you're going to come up with every month.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. All right, so this is some more of my HEB flowers. And I guess I was stuck on taking a picture of the backs of them this month. And I guess I could have like photo stacked this to get more of the flower in focus, but honestly, I liked it this way. And
It's a little abstract and I enjoy that.
Yeah.
You got good definition on the left.
Right, and the stem.
Right. It's a very nice photo.
Thank you.
It shows a lot of depth too.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, it's kind of way out there. Holly.
I had some daisies. I just thought they were really pretty. And this one was a red one, and I thought it would be a good subject to convert to black and white. And I focused right at the center where all the pollen was kind of falling off and called it daisy detritus. I love, it's one of my favorite words. I love that word. And I guess I could have cropped it differently or darkened the bottom or something. I'm not sure. It just doesn't, I don't think it's as strong as it could be, but I liked it enough to submit it.
I really like it in black and white. It makes you look at the structure of the flower more than when it's in color. You're so distracted by colors and stuff, but this makes you look at the center and the structure of the flower. I really
And the
like it.
texture, all of the different textures. And so my eye is drawn to the center of the flower where all of that beautiful texture is.
Mhm.
The brightness that you're talking about at the bottom, I don't really even notice that much.
With black and white, it almost looks like it is a metallic image instead of a real flower.
You know how I get that is with the luminance slider and the hue saturation luminance slider in Lightroom or ACR, the HSL. So you go to luminance and I played around with the red, yellow, and orange to kind of get that a little bit more metallic look to those petals. So I'm glad that showed up.
That's interesting. It's something good to know. Thanks.
Oh, sorry, I was making a note.
It's like, why do I go through that?
David.
Yeah, this is a banyan tree. Believe it or not, that's one tree.
Holy cow.
I wouldn't call it that artistic. I was sort of overwhelmed when I saw this thing. They said the canopy, the top of it covers an entire acre.
Wow.
And this tree, as the branches grow out, it sends little vines to the ground. And when they take root, each of those vines becomes a support column. So the tree, for hundreds and hundreds of years, it just spreads. It was down in Florida where Edison, Ford, and Firestone were experimenting with trees in the area to produce rubber for tires back in the early 1900s. So I just tried to bring out, sort of the overwhelmed feeling that I had when I saw it.
I don't think every picture has to be artistic. I think some pictures you're going to document something that you saw. Even my Badwater Basin, I was more interested in documenting this unusual place than in maybe having something somebody would say was artistic. I think this is fascinating.
Mm-hmm. And who would have ever guessed that was just one tree and then it covers a whole acre?
Is that on the grounds where the Edison Ford houses are?
Yes, it is.
Oh, I missed that. Interesting.
Right toward this little left of center, the darkest area there, that is the original trunk of the tree. Everything spread out from there.
I think it's just fascinating, and thank you for sharing it because I have never seen anything like that before.
Yeah, I had
Big
named
entries, but not one that big.
Yeah, we've seen
I haven't either. Hey, Dennis,
Yeah, well, that was at the Fort Worth Rodeo, obviously. The biggest problem there is the lighting. You have to, in order to, stop the action, get an f-stop fast enough to stop the action, you got to push the ISO up. And I think the ISO, well, you probably have the metadata there, but I think the ISO is right about 2000 or 2500. And I made it black and white because I thought the noise wasn't as noticeable. And I liked the everything, the action that was going on in the picture, of course.
I like the look on his face. Like,
yeah,
The
God,
bull or the man?
the man, the
Oh.
man's face.
that guy is he's from Mexico. He's the only one that night that was able to ride the full 8 seconds. And if you notice, he's kind of a hero around there. All these guys up here, they're all writers too, and they've been
Videos.
Yeah. Oh, you can't see my. They're well, the rest of them were going. They were just sort of sitting back watching. When this guy got out, they brought out their cameras and started taking pictures of him because they knew he was going to, do such a good job. Anyway.
Did you catch that one guy's flash at the same time?
Yeah.
It's like two bullets hitting one another in midair.
Yeah. That's
If it weren't for the
cool.
cell phones, you would think this was taken 50 years ago. It's timeless. And then you see everybody holding cell phones. It's great.
Yeah.
It does look like that, right? They're dressed the way it would have been. And
Well, those are the clowns. Yeah. Right.
well, I mean, even the guys. in
Oh,
this
yeah.
game,
Right. Yeah.
The jeans and the cowboy hats and the cowboy shirts. And I mean, it looks like Holly said, timeless, except for their cell phones.
Yeah.
There's a word for that, right? Where you have like two different, and it's kind of superimposed. I can't remember what the word is, but it's a really cool.
Is it juxtaposition?
Yeah, there you go. That's what I was thinking of. Thank you.
I love the expression on the faces.
Me too.
That's worth going to, by the way. It really is interesting show.
Where was it?
It's Fort Worth. They do it every Friday and Saturday night in the summer at the Stockyards in Fort Worth.
Okay. Ralph. Ralph?
You never guessed this being poppies, right? Okay, these were yellow poppies in our backyard. And I underexposed them a little bit to bring out the texture. Then I went to HSL and dropped the greens to make them darker so that they would stand out from the background even more. That's pretty much it. Just work with the clarity.
They almost look suspended above the greenery.
Yeah, that was the plan.
Well, it worked. Nice definition and detail in the petals too.
And I got 3 of a kind. That's usually sort of a magic number. 3. People like 3s.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Homer.
This was taken in France on the River Saône. We were cruise and we got off. I saw this guy sitting there, and I just liked the look on his face, and I like the diagonal line between the women and the guy. Anyway, that's
Nice leading lines.
Okay. Barbara?
I just don't think there's any bloom that's much prettier than a magnolia bloom. I tried the blooms in my backyard, but the wind just beats them to death, and they always have these brown marks on them. So took a trip to Landa, and if you've never been to Landa and look at their blooming magnolias, you're missing out. I did have to take out some light spots because I was shooting up, and the sky was peeking through a little bit, but it was detracting from the flowers. So I did have to take a little bit of that out. The wind was blowing that day too. So there is a little bit of grain on this one.
Yeah,
That's
you did
beautiful
good,
shape.
good detail, and got rid of the background, so it stood out quite well. Yeah, good detail.
I love the depth you got inside the bloom with the shadowing and the light. Really well done.
Thank you.
It does look like it's lit from the inside.
Mm-hmm. It does. Albert?
So this is my approach this month. I went the opposite direction of getting everything crisp and had fun with the sliders and went for almost an infrared kind of look.
Yeah, I like it.
I'm not seeing his picture. There it goes. Lost it again.
Tulips.
Okay. Thank you.
Was this all in Lightroom?
Yes.
Yeah, you messed with the clarity, moved it all to the.
Pretty close. Yep.
Yeah, it gives it a nice glow.
That's what I was going for. I typically would try to get it crisp, and I said, no, I want a different look today.
Were you using the paintbrush part of this?
No, I didn't. It was all sliders. I didn't really do any Photoshop or anything else.
Well, yeah, just in Lightroom, you can use the paintbrush to apply the clarity wherever you want it.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Is that one tulip in the left? Looks.
It might have been that was in focus, and the others were. I'm trying to remember what I had my aperture on.
Yeah, that was probably it.
Yeah, the background's pretty out of focus, so it might have been why one of them stood out.
That's an excellent effect.
Thank you.
Beverly?
Obviously, this was when we had the ice storm or the snow, whatever. And I was just playing around with this icicle as it was melting and everything. I just thought it was kind of cool. So I was trying to just kind of see what would happen.
Good leading lines.
Thank you.
And we don't get to see that very often, so. You do get to have to take advantage of it.
Yeah, I did a lot of pictures of the snow and the icicles.
Sandy?
I'm waiting for it to pop up because I'm trying to remember what it is.
The water lily?
Oh, yeah. Okay, thank you. Now, this was taken this same day that I did the poppies. the rain, so it was there at Wild Seed Farms also. And that's the reason that it's so wet. And I just did a basic black and white conversion in Lightroom and messed with the sliders a little bit on that to try to, it was a light yellow water lily, so it converted to white pretty nicely.
And you got an excellent shot. The reflection, the background is out of focus, and most of everything in the flower is sharp where you want it to be sharp.
Very pretty. Yeah. The water droplets are gorgeous.
Yeah, water droplets everywhere. I love it.
It's a stunning, stunning image. I think I would crop a little bit more on the left to match the right, or add a little bit more space on the right if you cropped in, just so there's an equal amount of darkness on both sides of the flower. And this one I think is award worthy.
Thank you, Holly. I will try that. I will remember that. I'll bring it in on that side, I think.
Okay, Daryl.
Yeah, a white rose. That's the title. Yeah. And didn't really bother with anything but just picking up those little stamens and pistils out in there. And it happened, of course, as usual, the flower has to have some water on it. So I turned the spray on and it worked.
We've had some beautiful white flowers in this black and white section here. They really stand out.
Mm-hmm. And
Yeah, that's actually a zucchini plant that's got really bright yellow flowers and super green leaves. So.
okay. On to the color photos. Try to keep us on time.
This is at the Botanical Gardens, and again taken with my phone because of the wind. And I actually, this isn't something you'd probably hang on your wall, but it makes a great screensaver. It's really,
it almost looks like some sort of illustration. It's so crisp.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it came out really, you know, these dang things are not, they frustrate me because sometimes you get a better picture with them than you do with your thousands of dollars worth of gear.
I know.
Yes.
I feel like the cell phones for flowers, for some reason, they do work really well.
Mhm.
Getting in close.
Omar?
I think I took this picture at the Botanical Gardens a year or so ago. I would have liked to, excuse me, I should have cropped it a little differently to take the butterfly out of the center of the picture, but it is what it is.
Technically, it's a good shot.
Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Eric.
Oh, gee, look.
What a surprise.
Okay, so yeah, here's the yellow spray painted board. A little hot on the right hand side. Wanted to go a little diagonal rather than just the straight up and down, and I used the the hook hours. So, and I did post on our Facebook site the picture of the setup and stuff. So see it that it's published.
Out of curiosity, have you ever thought of sending this portfolio to an example to a coffee company and see if you can't sell some of these? Really? Why not?
I need to think about it and see, see how far I can get, because there's becoming enough of a actual portfolio to put these together. So I appreciate that.
So too.
Or a cafe or breakfast spot.
Sure.
That kind of place too.
Or
I think it's really kind of unique.
hotel
There you go.
chains that do breakfast. Okay, Albert.
So this is the opposite. Nice and crisp and colorful. It was on the same trip, different locations. But I found out that another meaning for tulips was deep love. So that's what I named it.
It's pretty. I like the blurred background.
Yeah. I actually printed that one out. A friend of mine hung it on their wall. It looks pretty.
Did you notice, Albert, on the left side, you got a sharp petal?
On the left side, that flower on the way left?
Right.
Yeah, it was in the same, I guess, focus plane as the one in the center.
And you got the two that really stand out. Then you got that one a little bit this.
Yeah, I probably could have cropped that one out. Or
Maybe I would crop that side in just a little bit because the rest of it.
Yeah.
It was a nice overcast day, was it?
I'm trying to think back. It was a while
Shadows are
back.
soft.
Yeah, it wasn't extremely bright from what I recall. So yeah, that was probably.
Yeah, that's always a
overcast.
benefit. That's great.
Thank you.
David? David,
he was here.
I think he said that he left. Yeah, David left. Okay. Patricia.
Another shot from the backyard. In 4.5 in 1/125th of a second. So I just enjoyed the blurred background and basically the three little flowers in focus. It was pleasing to my eye, so I wanted to share.
I think the fact that there are 2 yellow flowers and 3, that makes another odd number. I think that helps with the.
Yeah, that works really, really well. And I love the way the background is. It's so soft, but it's almost all one color. So that almost looks like it was a stage background, but it's not. It's natural. It's
Thank
really
you.
cool.
Thank you. And I had what I'm going to call a Melissa moment, in that I got a lot of the backs of that flower. You and I had the same ideas, Melissa.
Oh, yeah. Greg.
This was shot my favorite place, parking garage, mostly by natural light. There was one light to the camera left, just to light the one side. I heard it looks like a heavy vignette I put on there. I really did not. That was 95% natural. I don't know why it came out that way, but I was really happy with that. I like everything. The one thing I would change would be her right hand. I feel like it's too heavy on her dress. I wish I would have had her just holding the dress with 2 fingers. I had her have one shoulder up, one down, just so she wouldn't look so boxy. And then I call it my rock star stance. I like having one foot pointed towards the camera and one foot pointed away. And that's that.
Yeah, the color is nice. I like the browns and the reds. They work well together.
Thanks. Yeah, I tried to go for a little more richer color, and I'm not sure how I quite edit this, but or what I did with the sliders and stuff. But yeah, I wanted to be a little richer in tone.
Greg, I'm just amazed by all the small details that you think about and go to in posing and setting these up. It's really so interesting to me.
I've taken a couple posing classes by photographers, and at first it's so overwhelming. Like you just can't. You have to worry about the settings in your camera. You can't worry about, but the more you shoot, then everything just slows way down, and then you just start seeing the small, everything, like they say, you get your. I doubt I had 10,000 hours in, but everything just slows way down. Everything just really pops at the end. So. Like I said before, once COVID's over, I'd be happy to do like a posing class and kind of show y'all some tricks or whatever.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey, Greg, was there a reason for moving her to the right side when she's looking to that right side?
Just it was just because it's not naturally what you do. Obviously, you would have more space where she's looking out. But just to be different. I mean, that was on purpose. That wasn't like an accident or anything. But yeah, I mean that's my answer, just to be different.
Okay. Yeah, you're gonna get beat.
That's fine. Made you think about it though, right? I mean, you looked twice at it, so hey, that worked too.
Yeah, but I have to tell you, Patricia and I went to the A. Smith Gallery a few days ago. And one of the things that we really noticed, it was their black and white exhibit. And there was of course, some stunning images. They get images from all over the world. And one of the things that we noticed was that how often these artists break the rules. They have a bird flying out of, right on the edge, flying out of the picture. It can work.
Right.
Well, I mean, they say, know the rules so you can break the rules. And I'm not saying this is a great shot, but yeah, I mean, that was done on purpose. And yeah, so
I think sometimes there's a difference in doing what you think artistically is pleasing to your eye, and if you're sending something in to be judged and knowing you might get whacked for being creative.
Well, and
very true.
I mean, it's just somebody's opinion too. You have to keep that in mind, that it's just somebody's opinion and they might beat you up, but they might not know what you were trying to do. So who cares? Right? I mean, you have to, if you like it, then who cares?
Exactly. That's right. If you like what you're taking and you like how you edit it and all that kind of stuff, that's the biggest thing is it what you like? So
right.
And to be slightly different, right. You just got to set yourself apart somehow, good or bad. You got to take a swing at it. You might fail or you might hit the home run. Who knows?
That's true.
What is PSA going to say about that, though? That's
they're going to love it.
I'm pretty sure PSA would give that score a 9.
Thank you.
Okay. Holly.
I am really proud of this picture, and I think I'm going to add it to my nature portfolio. This is a teeny tiny leaf beetle. I think I've been trying to get iNaturalist folks to help me ID it, and not quite sure yet on the type of leaf beetle. But this is on a milkweed flower that was blooming in my front yard, and it's very small. And I was very pleased that I got so much of the beetle in focus. His eyes are super sharp, his antenna's sharp, his shell's iridescent and reflecting. And I just love the milkiness of the color and how bright it is, and would love some feedback from you guys.
It's stunning, it really is.
Yeah, the lack of detail in the white is really good because it focuses on the insect and the darker parts of the flower. It just makes things simpler on the eye. Very good.
Right.
But I did recognize it. I wondered if it was that antelope milkweed chickweed and that stuff. Yeah, so it is still recognizable as that too, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, and only the
awesome.
very tips of those 5-prong petals and the back of the shell are blown. Everything else is right up to the edge of the highlights.
Just her point.
I like that it makes you focus on the beetle. That's the whole point of seeing the beetle clear. I mean, you can see his face.
Yeah, it's very, very nicely done. The only thing I would give it almost a perfect score if it was on the handle of a coffee cup. Other than that, it's a beautiful shot.
Good point.
Yes, Holly, you're going to have to start collecting bugs and putting them on your coffee mug.
I'm totally willing to do that, especially for Eric. He's my idol.
Bug on a mug. That's funny. Okay, Beverly.
Okay, this was during the snowstorm. There was this fox kept coming by. He was picking up, eating the bird seed that the birds dropped on the ground. And he had come by, and I think what he noticed, there was some deer, and I think he turned to look at them. They made a noise because shortly after that, the deer showed up and he left. But he's such a cute critter. I love watching him.
Should have put out some dog food for him.
But he seems to like the bird seed because he keeps coming around and checking out the bottom of the feeders and competing with the deer.
Well, if you gave him the choice, I don't.
Right. We have some in our backyard, but I didn't see them during the snow. They must have just huddled down.
I like the fact that the fur is very detailed. You can see the individual hair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, great. He's in a great pose too. The curve of him is very interesting. So were you outside when you shot this?
No, actually, I was shooting it through the kitchen window.
I wondered if it was through glass. I couldn't quite tell. It looked just a little muted, and I wondered if it was through glass.
Yeah.
You did a really good job catching focus through glass.
Yeah, because the glass has a little bit of a tint to it.
Yeah, once you open your door, he's gone. So
right.
Yes, it's true.
His ears are. That's beautiful.
Dennis.
Well, we're back at the rodeo again, and I was trying to get a panning shot, sort of showed how fast the horse was running. Again, because of the ISO, there's a bunch of noise there, but it isn't too bad, actually.
I'm
That's what it is.
impressed that all 4 feet are off the ground. That's not easy to catch. And his coat's very shiny. Nice shot.
It would have been better if the negative space would have been in front of the horse, but you know, it's hard to get that. So
yeah, you can't tell that horse to just wait a second.
no.
Back up.
Hey, Dennis.
Yeah.
The shot's an excellent shot, okay, but if you want more negative space, maybe next time after you shoot it, do another pan with nothing over there, and then you can just layer some additional negative space in there.
Right. Yeah, that's a good suggestion.
You could have brought it into Photoshop and stretched it a little bit. That section.
Yeah, I could have, probably. Yeah.
Hey, Ed.
Yeah.
Purple Rain.
This was caught during a rainstorm that we had a few days ago. So if you enlarge it, you could see the raindrops on the petals.
I can see it.
Pretty colors. Beautiful colors.
Yeah, and I like the title.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Hey, this is mine. And so this was the same daisies that I was taking pictures of before, and they actually had been dyed so that some of the petals were blue or turquoise. And then I had that Gerber daisy over in the background too. So I was kind of shooting, I want to say I was shooting upwards through the petals with the other colors of petals kind of behind it, and the light was behind it as well. I don't know. I just did this from kind of an artistic, not so much that you could tell exactly what it was. I didn't care about that. I just did this from the coloring and the artistic point of view.
It's lovely.
Pretty, I like it.
Thank you. Sandy.
Yeah, this, I think that's a skipper. I don't know my
I think it is too.
very well. I happened to really be in a bird blind trying to shoot birds, and there was this thistle right in front of me, and it landed there, and that ended up being my favorite picture instead of the birds. It was taken down in South Texas in one of the state parks.
The skippers move around sometimes so fast that you, by the time you see the little devils, you get your camera there, they've gone. So you got a really nice shot.
It's the first one I've ever seen, and it is very crisp, very detailed.
He sat there for a little while for me. I was able to get several shots of it.
Yeah, I like this a lot. I like that you have a nice bokeh behind it with the colors of whatever the probably vegetation back there. It's very nice. Daryl.
Pretty much self-explanatory. You can pick out a couple that are the same window, just decorated a little differently. Kind of like the Faust Hotel here at the time I got the flowers growing there.
That's in the Faust
Hotel. It's in Venice.
Yeah, I know.
Beautiful colors, lovely.
Yeah,
colors.
beautiful. And I like that each one of those has a different shape.
Well, like I say, there are a couple of windows that are repeated there.
Were you ever in Venice during Carnival?
No, never. It was too cold. I couldn't go there in February.
Okay. And Ralph.
Hang on. There we go. Yeah, that was in the backyard. Some wildflowers. What are they called? I forget.
Verbena.
Right, whatever you said. Yes.
Verbena.
Verbena, I think.
Verbena. Yeah, that does sound right. They were just glorious, and there are all quite a few in our woods right behind the house.
Very sharp, lots of detail. Color's beautiful.
And they're so, each flower is so tiny that, again, it's one of those, not that easy to get a really good picture of a verbena, I don't think.
Well, if you got a good Sony, I don't know about that, maybe. You could do that with any macro with a bit of luck and a fast shutter speed.
I know.
Always. Okay. Okay, that is the end of our photos. June is HDR. And I think, don't we have, I was looking for today, Victor, don't we have something on explaining HDR? Somewhere in our,
I thought we'd sent out a link to a video. I'd have to go back through the emails and see if I can find it.
Yeah.
But if
I
we
think
need, if we need something, I could set something up toward sometime next week and just send it out for anybody that's interested. Okay. I think most of the cameras have an HDR setting where the camera will do all the work for you. For folks that have the older cameras that won't do it in camera, there's if they're using Lightroom, they can use Lightroom to process it. Yeah. But yeah, we can do a class. I can do probably a 30-minute class next week, send out a Zoom link and go over it if anybody's needs it, wants it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sounds good. Okay, I don't have anything else. Does anybody else have anything before we finish our meeting?
I just want to let everybody know that during the meeting, I uploaded 2 PSD files to the chat room. Okay. One's called Basic Edits Horizontal and one's called Basic Edits Vertical. And if you're able to download that and you use Photoshop Elements or Photoshop, you can open up this file and it can help you do some, if you're new to Photoshop or Photoshop Elements, it can help you do some really quick edits fairly quickly. And if anybody's interested in a real quick demo, I'll stick around after the meeting. Otherwise, if you download it and have a problem using it, if you're interested, you can shoot me a line and we can talk about it.
Okay, let's do a quick round table. It is now 8:32, so it's about time for us to finish up. Dennis and Sharon, do either of you have anything?
No.
Nope.
Patricia?
No, thank you though.
Holly?
No, ma'am.
Victor?
No, just that I'll stick around for a couple of minutes after Holly shuts the recording down. And if anybody wants to see it, that demo, if not, then we'll just be done.
Okay, Sandy?
Thank you.
Beverly?
Nothing.
Daryl?
Nada.
Bill?
I'm good.
Marty?
I'm good.
Frank?
I'm good, thank you.
Barbara?
I'm good.
Let's see. Eric?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Greg?
Good.
Albert?
Good, thank you.
Anthony?
Nothing here. Thank you.
And Tony?
No.
Okay. Well then, meeting is
Good night,
adjourned.
all.
Good night, everyone.
Good night,
Good night.
everybody.
Thank you. Everybody.
See everybody next month.